I'm at the Flying J in Union Point, Greensboro, Georgia, off Interstate 20, getting ready to do a News Coolum site review method review of this brand new station. But first, I'm going to have some pizza. All right, so when I got here, I did a Auto Charge Plus plug-in and went right to a red light error, nothing indicating on the screen. So I called into EVgo. The remote technician tried to dial in and reboot the machine, and she wasn't able to, and she didn't see any successful charges, so she was directing me to a different charging station. But just as I was getting ready to just film what I could and do the site review, an Owl e-mobility technician showed up, and he seems to think he might be able to get it repaired, so we still might be able to get a charging session recorded. If not, I'll just go ahead and do the site review because that's really what we're here for. I really don't need a charge. I'm close enough to another EVgo station where I could pick up sticks and go charge elsewhere. But really, it's the station itself that we're here to videotape. And it being a little bit glitchy on day, I think this is day 2, is not uncommon. Normally when they commission these things, I don't know, about 10%, 20% of the time, they need to iron a few glitches out, and this seems to be one of those cases. So anyway, right now it's getting ready to be turned off at the switchgear by the Owl technician, and he's going to do some work in there, and then he's going to give me a heads up when he finishes, and we'll give it a try again to see if it works. And I know I must sound like a broken record now, but one of the best features of the Pilot Flying J build is not only is the charger is right next to a very extensive convenience store and facility that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They never close, but they are extremely close to the interstate. And not just this one, all of them is a part of their business model. They need to be right off the interstate in order to service the long haul truckers, which make it really convenient for people who are hauling down the interstate in a EV and need a quick recharge at a 350 kilowatt station. Perfect. Okay, while the Owl technician tries to make a repair, let's go ahead and do an overview of the site. As you can see, this is a diamond canopy, which is a type D. So there's also the type E, which is a different style of diamond. And over here is the gas canopy, and over here is the diesel canopy. And I can't tell you what a major triumph it is to have diesel, gas, and then electric to just be treated like a normal citizen, which means that electric vehicles are now a viable drivetrain alternative, in my opinion, is what this is telegraphing to everyone. And a major victory in order to have Pilot Flying J install these at their properties. Beautiful install, big heavy canopy, obviously built to last. The facility has a sign out on the interstate. Can't quite see it, but this should be an IHOP. But the signs have been removed, indicating that the IHOP is now permanently closed, unfortunately. Maybe at some point in the future it'll reopen. We don't really know, but right now it's completely vacated. Staff says it's likely closed forever. But inside the convenience store, you would have everything that you typically see in a convenience store. Plus, it's like a convenience store plus, because the truckers who stay here as a result of interstate regulations for a duration of time need some food, and just normal convenience store fare is not really sufficient for the amount of traffic that they have here. So they kind of up their game a little bit, and they've got slices of pizza, they've got a hot food bar, and several other things that kind of make it a little bit more premium. But this facility's main job in life is to service long haul truckers, and this is where they park. So you see them coming in and out of the property all the time. The services for automobiles or passenger cars are really just kind of an ancillary business that they tolerate. I don't know if that's a way of saying it, but their bread and butter is servicing long haul truckers in order to provide refueling services and also a place to rest, get a shower, get something to eat, and repair their vehicles if necessary, because there are also repair facilities at most of these locations as well. Okay, let's go ahead and get to the site review, and I will check back in if the Owl technician is able to make a repair.
Here's the vital statistics. It's the Flying J in Union Point, Georgia, off Interstate 20. The PlugShare location will be linked down below in the description. It has 4 stalls fed from 2 Delta 350 kilowatt dispensers with dual CCS1 handles, and it does have Auto Charge Plus, which is typically what I use to charge. The News Coolum site review model is a 50-point scoring method in 5 categories: access, amenities, concentration, location, and speed. Each category has 10 points. The location is immediately off Interstate 20. However, there is nothing historic or scenic close by. So as you'll see, it is going to lose some points for that. This is an utility interstate truck stop, and that's its function in life, but it does so very well with a well-stocked convenience store immediately off the interstate. So it serves its function in life very well. Let's get into the points. First, with access. The site scored all 10 points in this section. The ADA compliant spaces are signed van accessible. And I think that is a new thing in Pilot Flying J stations. I think it used to be signed differently, but now they're signed van accessible. So it also has the pull through, which also makes access to the dispensers very easy because you could approach it from either direction. Plus, with the diamond shape of the canopy, it offsets the dispensers from each other. So it's just a very easily accessible site. You can approach it from multiple different directions. The dispensers are offset. It also has effective cable management with long cables that are retracted using a pulley system. So the retractable pulley lifting the weight of the cable and also allowing it to be extended makes for this for a very accessible location. There are plenty of signs indicating against icing, and I'll talk about the canopy in the next section. The location is very close to the entrance and very close to the amenities. It is also very close to the interstate. As far as being able to pay for the session, as I mentioned, I use Auto Charge Plus, but you could also use the EVgo app. And the point of sale option has everything offered with tap to pay, swiping a credit card, or using a credit card chip. As far as the 4 stalls being sufficient, in my opinion, the answer is yes, because these are for people traveling on interstate road trips who need a fast charge at a 350 kilowatt station, which statistics show is not as heavily used as chargers in urban locations that are getting used for people in multi-tenant dwellings on a daily grind pattern. So I think 4 is sufficient. Some people might argue that point, but in my opinion, it is. Now let's talk amenities. The canopy is very distinctive. Not only that, it indicates where the EV charging station is and also protects against icing because there's a neon border going around it. It says GM Energy. The overhead lighting illuminates underneath the canopy with all the additional signage indicating EV charging. And so all those things combine to make a very effective protection against icing, and also very effective to be able to find it at nighttime as you're traveling and pulling into the site looking for what location it is. This thing really shines. It's unmistakable. It does have 24/7 bathrooms. Trash cans and squeegees are underneath the gas canopy currently, but I find after a few weeks the staff start to migrate those over to the EV charging station as they see it getting used. It is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It never closes, so it has that security aspect. However, it does not have any dining options with the IHOP being closed. The snack and drink options are available, and I did see someone walking their pet, so it does have a place to take care of your animal, but there is no sightseeing opportunities anywhere around here, that at least that I could find. Now let's talk concentration. Because it only has 4 stalls, it does lose some points here, but it does have sufficient for the venue, route, region, and there are other EVgo stations within a close vicinity. So it gets some points, but it does. This is the area where a 4 stall station is going to start to lose some points. Now let's talk location. Anything referring to being close to an interstate, it gets the point for because it's just extremely close to the interstate. However, the historic scenic route is where the red check mark comes into play, and also 50 miles away from the nearest public fast charger. I was able to go to a ChargePoint station, I think it was like 8 minutes away, but in the city itself of Union Point, there is no other DC fast chargers, so it did get a check mark for that one. And also the per capita, per 1,000 people, it got the point for that one as well. So pretty well scored, especially because being so close to the interstate. Now let's talk speed. For the throughput on the dispensers being 350 kilowatts, it does very good for that. But because it's only 4 stalls and the transformer being only 500 kVA, it loses points that larger sites would likely gain. So a little bit of trade-off. This is a location off the interstate with 4 stalls that has a lot of amenities, but it's not a ginormous site. So kind of balance there. Bringing the total points to 39 out of 50.
All right, so I just checked in with the Owl Tech, and he's definitely got at least another hour's worth of work to do, but unfortunately I got to get back to Charlotte. My wife and I have a thing to do tonight, so not going to be able to charge, but I'm very confident that it's going to get fixed, and this station will be commissioned and operational very shortly, and people will be charging here happily, just as I have elsewhere, and I'm sure that it will charge exactly the same as every other Pilot Flying J that I've done test charging at. Anyway, sorry we weren't able to get that on video.
So there you have it, a brand new DC fast charger station at a Flying J in Union Point, Georgia, directly off Interstate 20 with 4 350 kilowatt stalls underneath the canopy. Life is good. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching.